Hi, my name is Shaun. I'm the Strategic Solutions Specialist at AI Insights. And recently in our videos, we've been making a lot of mention about the VUCA conditions in the market. And for some of you that are not familiar with this term, today we're going to dive deeper into what this means. So before we begin, let's just see if you're familiar with this situation where it's the end of day and you get a last minute business request saying, I just need this by end of day. Now, normally you can deal with this, but in a VUCA environment, it becomes a problem. And this is why we need proactive market intelligence, not unscheduled or ad hoc. So the market has become incredibly volatile, and this means that it is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And that's because of economic disruption. So in the 2020, we saw the pandemic, very shortly followed by a massive increase in property prices. Then we saw the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which led to a spike in energy prices, and also meant a lot of inflation as a result of the energy prices, resulting in a cost of living crisis, which we're all dealing with still. On top of that, we have trade disruption, short-term bilateral agreements. We also have free trade agreements that are in place. And we have large multilateral agreements that are happening as well. But on the short term, the bilateral trade agreements are what are catching the attention and causing disruption. Then in 2016, we saw a huge jump forward in AI with AlphaGo, and this was the first signal that something was happening with AI. But it took till 2022 with ChatGPT to really show us that something was going to happen. Today we sit back and say, well, it's the wave, and this is what AI is going to do. And also a lot of concern that this could result in significant unemployment as we roll forward. So economics are not as stable as they used to be. This is a very disruptive environment. But we also have political disruption as well. And here you see changing policies on the long term. We also see changing policies on the short term and the asymmetry between these two. A lot of this is caused by rising populism, and this is global. But rising populism is not something that we can bring into our market intelligence analysis. However, we can talk about instability and using an instability index to indicate exactly how disruptive the market is. Additionally, we've seen shocks in the supply chain, not just consumers changing their preferences and this having a massive impact on supply chains, but with geopolitical conflicts also having to source different products from different places. The impact of climate has been severe. We've seen this on our crops, but also the impact of the regulation and the changes that are coming with this regulation and what this means for our business in future. If we sum all of this up, we use Porter's 5 forces as a template, as a lens to see what this means, with the threat of new entrants, with supplier power, buyer power, the threat of substitutes, and industry rivalry. When we zoom in, we see that supplier power and buyer power have increased, and this is putting a squeeze on the supply chain. With that squeeze on supplier power and buyer power, it's turning our market into a red ocean, where it is highly competitive, but also looking for those opportunities in blue ocean where we can create new markets with innovation. Whether you're looking at the threat or the opportunity, you're going to need a very good understanding of your market to be able to do this. And this is where AI Insights can help you. So in all your preparation and training for disruptive events and opportunities and threats in the market, well, welcome to 2026. This could be the biggest threat for you. This could be a massive opportunity. So we've mapped out all of the potential threats in your operating environment that you need to be aware of. Now, if you bring threats into your stakeholder base, what you're going to find is that there's not going to be a strong connection to that. But if you take that threat and you work it forward into an opportunity as a revenue stream for the future, this is when you're really getting on top of a VUCA environment. Thank you very much for your time. Please like and subscribe, and watch out for our next video on market intelligence in agri-food.